latest suggested site for a second drug injecting room.
Hôm 12 tháng 5 năm 2021, Tiểu bang Victoria tại Úc thông qua việc mở các phòng chích xì ke ma túy công khai cho dân xì ke sử dụng tại 3 vùng Footscray, st-kilda và DANDENONG. Đảng Tự do phản đối, nhưng bên đảng Lao động đông hơn. Đây là điều khá nhức nhối cho người dân tại tiểu bang Victoria. Nơi nào có xì ke, nơi đó sẽ bớt phồn thịnh. Như trước đây vùng cư dân ở Richmond, một trong những nơi được gọi là Vietnamese Town, một con phố rất sầm uất với nhiều quán ăn nhà hàng là street food thu hút rất nhiều khách du lịch đến ăn uống. Richmond là street food ngày xưa, người dân Việt Nam làm ăn tại đây rất là phồn thịnh. Từ khi chính phủ mở phòng chích cho xì ke ma túy ở khu vực này, thì mọi công việc làm ăn ở khu vực này hầu như bế tắc điêu tàn, rất nhiều nhà hàng quán ăn ế ẩm đóng cửa và bỏ chạy. Và rất nhiều những cư dân, những thương gia đã làm ăn ở Richmond đã rời bỏ khu vực này để đi những khu vực khác, như các vùng lân cận như Springvale, Noble Park, Sunshine, Shanobin và các vùng miền Tây. Được biết, người dân tại Melbourne, nhất là vùng miền Tây, sẽ làm một cuộc biểu tình xuống đường phản đối chính phủ ở vùng Footscray ngày thứ Tư, ngày 19 tháng 5 năm 2021 lúc 7 giờ ở góc đường Nicholson và đường Hopkins Street Footscray để chống đối lại chính phủ mở phòng chích tại Footscray và những vùng phụ cận khác trong tương lai như st-kilda và DANDENONG v.v. Trong video này sẽ là cuộc biểu tình tại vùng Footscray. Xin hãy nhấn like, share và subscribe.
We do not want an injection room here in Footscray. We don't want a safe-injecting room in Footscray. No. Safe-injecting room in Footscray. Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Ladies and gentlemen.
The acting Premier has said there is no intention to put a safe injecting room in Footscray.
Because this is what happened to Richmond. There were 100 shops in Richmond, now there's only 30. And when you walk down, it's unsafe, and the residents like Christine and I are feeling destroyed by those highly drug users who destroy our community that my family have been heritage there for many years. And I wanted to hear the support of Footscray Asian Business Association, our Vietnamese community, who said no, no, no.
All together say no injection room in Footscray. No injection room in Footscray. No.
And the injecting room next to a primary school. The community will tell you that crime has increased. The community will tell you that antisocial behaviour has increased. The community will tell you that drug trafficking and drug taking has increased.
Totally right, but let's also understand this. At that time, the government at that time wanted a safe injecting room in Footscray, and the community said no.
Ai uống nước thì sẽ có nước, ai đói bụng thì có bánh mì ổ, ok. Cho nên mình phải đồng lòng để biểu dương lực lượng và không cho người ta gắn phòng chích trong vùng của mình.
Hello, Footscray. I live in Richmond. This is my son, who has seen dead bodies, people injecting in the streets.
There are people in North Richmond who wouldn't want me to speak out against the room. They want me to tell you it's fantastic, that it saves lives and has little or no impact to our community.
Inslee, here all the boys of the local tonight from Richmond. This young gentleman here, can you please come up here, please? Can you please come up here? You have seen what other people have not seen, so this is the sign that he's holding. Safe-injecting room destroy community. Clear message tonight to the Andrews government, we do not want an injection room here in Footscray. No! Footscray says no! Footscray says no! Loud and clear! Loud and clear! And I was... We don't want a safe injection room in Footscray! No! Safe injection room in Footscray! Get out! Get out! Get out! Ladies and gentlemen, we want to bring the society so everyone can enjoy with us. Everyone can live together. We have been a very peaceful community and we respect that. We come to this nation with warm welcome arms and we really appreciate that. We want to build something so everyone can join together. It's breaking my heart when I see young kids like this. Every day that when they go to school, they have to witness things that we do not want to witness, ladies and gentlemen. It's actually tear your heart apart. You have to have a lot of tears when you see that. Even now, I love to go out and eat Vietnamese food. I love to go to Richmond and enjoy myself in Richmond. But I can't anymore. It's become untenable. It's become unsafe for all of us. I wish that politicians, I wish that government are there to witness.
All together say, no injection room in Footscray. No injection room in Footscray. No.
Hôm nay là ba bà cùng với lại một nhóm người đi ra đây để cùng nhau biểu tình nói lên cái ý kiến của mình là chống phòng chống phản Footscray. Cho nên hồi nãy giờ Quân cũng có mặt ở đây và xin Quân cũng cho biết cái cảm tưởng của Quân đi.
Dạ, chào chị Việt Kim và chào tất cả mọi người trên cộng đồng mạng và giống như là cộng đồng Việt Nam của mình tại bang Victoria. Thì em là Nguyễn Minh Quân. Thì giống như là mọi người đang rất là phẫn nộ về cái phòng chích ma túy tại tiểu bang này mà các vùng đang chuẩn bị thành lập lên, nhất là ở Richmond là một cái vùng người Việt đã từng bị nhà nước cài đặt một cái phòng chích nghiện tại thành phố đó, và nó cũng đã hủy diệt ra rất là nhiều gia đình và cộng đồng và doanh nghiệp tại Richmond rồi. Cho nên ngày hôm nay chúng ta hãy cùng nhau mà đồng lòng để đứng ra để phản đối chính quyền để không cho cái phòng này xuất hiện tại cộng đồng người Việt Victoria tại khu vực gọi là Footscray, một thành phố mà đang yên tĩnh và đang gặp khó khăn về Covid-19 của nguyên một năm ngoái rồi. Cho nên năm nay không muốn cái trường hợp mà càng tồi tệ hơn xảy ra, nhất là ảnh hưởng tới con em chúng ta và tương lai của chúng ta và tương lai của các doanh nghiệp. Cho nên Minh Quân xin hy vọng là tất cả mọi người cùng đồng lòng nhau đứng dậy mà nói cho chính quyền biết rằng là chúng ta không đồng ý cái sự hủy diệt này. Cho nên chúng ta hãy nói lên cái tiếng nói của chúng ta để bảo vệ con em và cộng đồng và doanh nghiệp của chúng ta cho ngày mai. Cảm ơn quý vị.
Clear message tonight to the Andrews government. We do not want an injection room here in Footscray. No! Footscray says no! Footscray says no! Loud and clear! Loud and clear! And I was absolutely delighted last week when I spoke to the Mayor of Maribyrnong, Councillor Michael Clark, to get his support. So very, very quickly, somebody who clearly puts his community first and is doing that here tonight. So I would ask you to give a very, very warm welcome to the Mayor of Maribyrnong, Councillor Michael Clark.
Friends, before we commence of a safe injecting room is not a bad idea. Let's be clear. We've got to look at the idea of health and welfare of people. Council has not been given any information, any data that supports of ambulance call-outs for overdose. The numbers are just not there that would support a safe injecting room in Footscray. Let's be clear. Resources are finite, friends. We would put a safe injecting room where it needs to be. We have to look out for the health and well-being of those people who have a problem. But in terms of numbers, friends, in terms of numbers, remember, and I said, has there been any attempt by this government to put a safe injecting room in Footscray? Her response was, no, there has not. I asked her, what is the government's position on this? She said, the acting Premier has said there is no intention to put a safe injecting room in Footscray. This is what I've been told. This has come from nowhere, friends. We have, and I think Fiona Patton, whilst well-meaning in this particular case, she has gotten it wrong. There is not a problem that warrants they need to be. Yes, let's make sure that everyone's health and well-being is looked after. Yes, but I gotta say, we don't have anything that says put this in Footscray. That's just the reality of it. Friends, if it changes, I will tell you. I'm more than happy to meet the community again. But friends, we're data driven and there is no data to support such an initiative. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael, the Mayor Councillor Michael Clark, and thank you for your support for the community on this issue tonight. We have quite a list of speakers tonight, and we're going to try and keep it as brief as we possibly can, to the point of exhaustion. I think it'd be safe to say. And I would ask you to give a very warm welcome to the Shadow Health Minister, Georgie Crozier.
And good evening, everybody. You just heard from Michael about the need for consultation from your community. I've been working with the North Richmond community who have not had the consultation from government that they deserve. And you'll hear about that. I want to just read you a couple of things, what the Premier and the Minister Martin Foley have said. In 2014, Daniel Andrews said there will be no injecting room policy. Well, it was a few years ago, and that's my point. The circumstances had changed. So in 3 weeks, the circumstances had changed from him making that previous statement for North Richmond to have an injecting room. An injecting room that was just for heroin, not isoamphetamines. And then a few weeks later, the Minister responsible, Martin Foley, changed his mind on that too. This is a government you cannot trust. They will change their minds. They will not consult with the community. Not one local MP, not one member of the government has been to those community rallies in North Richmond to hear the concerns of the community down there. And the injecting room next to a primary school. The community will tell you that crime has increased. The community will tell you that antisocial behaviour has increased. The community will tell you that drug trafficking and drug taking has increased. The traders will tell you that their businesses have gone down the drain. In 2000 is gone, the traders will tell you, the residents will tell you, and the parents of those children that go to school will tell you the trauma to the children that see the drug use, the drug trafficking, and the people that have died outside the school. Children have witnessed this, and the government has been silent and absent and has not spoken to the community. That's why you deserve to be consulted by the Andrews government. Don't believe a word they say. You need a voice and you need to be listened to. The Andrews government has failed the North Richmond community and you need to be listened to here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Georgie, and thank you for joining us tonight to give your support to Footscray saying no. What do we say? No. What do we say? No. What do we say? No. Exactly right. Thank you very much. We now have somebody who is going to feel this decision very, very badly if it goes ahead. We all know what it does for the traders. We have seen in North Richmond what it does to traders there. We've seen what it does to businesses. We don't want that to happen in Footscray. We don't want that to happen in Footscray. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you the President of the Footscray Asian Business Association, Mr. Peter Nguyen. Peter, well done.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah. I believe we are all understand the reason why we're here today. We fight for Footscray in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, I have lived and worked in Footscray more than 40 years. I love Footscray. Ladies and gentlemen, now on behalf of Footscray Asian Business Association, I strongly oppose the injection room in Footscray. The reason why I say that, they have about more than 70 shops closing down. We're lucky today we have Mr. Michael Ho. He is the president of the Victoria Business Association in Richmond. He will talk more this issue in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here today. I believe we have a strong support. We must voice what we believe is right, and we have to protect and push it for future. Thank you. All together say, no injection room in Footscray. No injection room in Footscray. No injection room in Footscray.
A man who really loves Footscray, and guess what he says? No injecting room in Footscray, and rightly so. Good on you, Peter. Thank you very much indeed. Now, another this bloke over here wants to have a seat. Can somebody help him? Can I get Catherine Cumming to come up here? Catherine is a colleague, well known to many of you, of course, being on the Maribyrnong Council, and I think the Footscray Council before that. Maribyrnong. Did they go back as far as Footscray? Fair enough. No, thank you very well. Not far. No, it's all right. Anyway, it's good to see Catherine here tonight supporting us, and good to see Cook Lamb here too from Maribyrnong, you're Maribyrnong, aren't you, Maribyrnong Council? It is great to, for some reason I thought Brimbank, but it's great to see you here, Cook, as well, and giving your support to us tonight, so thank you very much indeed. And no, we'll get to him in a minute. Catherine, thank you for joining us, and please say a few words.
Hello, Footscray. What do we say in Footscray? Doggy, doggy, doggies. It's great to see you out tonight. Oops, at 7 o'clock. Now, I think I'll give you a little bit of a history lesson. So, I think it was in the late 90s. There was actually a needle. I was elected onto Maribyrnong Council in 1997. The drug problem was at its highest at that particular time. My nephews and nieces that were going to Footscray City Primary School were given drugs off the station and at McDonald's. They started to smoke heroin. My nephews and nieces. Now we have new schools here in Footscray. My nephews and nieces have been heroin addicts for 20 years plus. They graduated to actually injecting. So they've been going to that needle exchange for 20 years. Oh, that's right. Absolutely right. But let's also understand this. At that time, the government at the time wanted a safe injecting room in Footscray, and the community said no. There were 800 submissions that said no, and 5 submissions that came to council at that time that said yes. And the ALP council at that time, 5-2, voted for it. Thankfully, the state parliament, the Liberals in the upper house actually knocked it back. And then 20 years later, we have been able to get Footscray to look like this. And this is all, and I will credit that because at that time, that $1 million that Brax was going to use was given to the Maribyrnong Council to build HealthWorks, a holistic facility, not just handing out needles, but actually having all of the services that the drug users need. And that's been a wonderful service for the last 20 years. You can go there, you can try to get rehab, you'll get clean needles. It has been a wonderful service. Now let's come to Richmond. Let's come to Richmond, right? Now there are studies, and you're throwing statistics at me, and I'll throw them right back, because I tell you what, I'm almost the history book of Footscray and the history book of these problems, right? So Richmond, here we come back to Richmond. So there's a report, 2017, it actually shows that the drug problem here in Footscray has moved further out west, towards St Albans area, and they actually were suggesting that they could have mobile services, right? Then you actually have a person in Parliament who pushed for a safe injecting room in Richmond.
Which is a great idea and no one's died.
Now, respectfully, I've got all the statistics here. It shows with the statistics everything has doubled. The deaths have doubled, the overdoses in the street, the needles everywhere. Don't worry, I've got it here. Would you like me to actually read the report, the government report? Because that's what it actually says, that's what it's created. And that's why they're thinking about the second room, because they know there's someone out here just quoted Sydney and put it near a primary school. And Footscray CBD, you have got high schools, or it is a total mobile interchange here, where all of the high school kids, you will be putting them at risk. Like my nephews and nieces. Right? Like my nephews and nieces. Now, they're suggesting also, let's put one everywhere. Well, you know what? We also need mental health facilities everywhere in the West. Seriously, I would put one in every suburb, because that's how you actually help somebody. You help the youth, you help them at the start, you help their mental health issues, and then you don't have the problems of people using drugs to escape their problems. Right? So, respectfully, I am pleased to be here tonight for a Footscray peaceful protest. Thank you for the hecklers from Reason or Green or whoever you come from, right? Because I respect even the Socialist Alliance Party have decided to have I support safe injecting rooms at 11 o'clock on a Saturday, because they have at least the respect to allow this peaceful protest occur. So thank you, Mr. Singh.
Thank you, Councillor Cumming. We'll move on. And Member of Parliament, hang on.
Ai uống nước thì cả có nước, ai đói bụng thì có bánh mì ổ, ok? Cho nên mình phải đồng lòng để biểu dương lực lượng và không cho người ta gắn phòng chích trong vùng của mình. Để thôi là mình sẽ quy to như Richmond. I return to Berlin. So drink and bread roll out there, ready for you guys. If you're hungry and thirsty, go to the back.
But not yet, not till we're finished. Okay, now we've heard a bit tonight about the disaster of North Richmond. I was there a few weeks ago, and I spoke to the people who live there, and it is horrendous. It is horrific. I cannot believe a peak performance here in Footscray. I'd now like to introduce to you a couple of residents of North Richmond who wish to share with you the experiences that they've had since the safe injecting room was opened in North Richmond. So first of all, we have Christine Maynard and Sharon Nevin will be speaking immediately after her. So Christine, please join us, and thank you very much for coming out.
Hello, Footscray. I live in Richmond. This is my son, who has seen dead bodies, people injecting in the streets, drug dealing. Whatever you want to see, you will see it if you put an injecting room here in Footscray. No child, including my own, deserves to see anything that they have to see. Let me make that very clear. The trauma, the distress that these kids see on a daily basis, including the first story that was on the National 9 News tonight, was about a situation outside the school. Do you understand what our kids go through? I understand that people have issues. I want to see them get help. Giving out needles for them to inject in our streets is not the help that they need. We call 000. I've never called 000 in my life until this goddamn place opened its doors. It is a disgrace. And you should be outraged as a community that your community, including friends that I have lost their businesses, that deal with drug dealing on their doorstep. We deal with people who tells me and everybody in our community that she walks our streets once a week. Not one person has seen her sorry little ass around our community. I'd like to. I'll be quite happy to walk around. You have not seen anything until you have something like this in your community, and we don't want to see that. That is why I'm here to support you. Okay? So let me make that very clear. We, Richmond community, are here to support you and everywhere else. No one deserves to be put in the same situation as our community has. And my child deserves better. Do you understand? You should be outraged that this is going to be put in front of your child's face because it's been put in. Thank you very much.
Hello, Footscray. My name's Sharon. I'm from Richmond. Excuse me, I'm going to read this off my phone. Firstly, 2 quick points. I'm not affiliated with any political party and side with no one. Secondly, most importantly, I support Save Lives. There are people in North Richmond who wouldn't want me to speak out against the room. They want me to tell you it's fantastic that it saves lives and has little or no impact to our community, so that you too can have one and we can share our load. You already have your problems, and I'm not going to tell you all of the horror stories, you probably know them already, but if you get an injecting room here, it will be so much worse. The room in Richmond says it saved 21 lives over 18 months, but did it? Sure, it might have reversed the effect of the drug overdose on that day, but where are those 21 people now? Are they drug-free? I doubt it. Are they dead now? Maybe. Take drugs, you will die. It's a slow form of suicide, and not that slow for some. You'll ruin your life, your family's life, your children's life, if you have any. You'll lose your job, your home, your teeth, your health, your self-esteem. You will sell your body, your shoes, and your coat. Yes, you will be supervised when you put that poison in your veins, and then when you're so heavily affected by drugs that you become mad and violent, they won't let you in and you're back shooting up in the streets, and there you will die. But then by then you'll want to. If you are lucky, they'll put you in prison where you might get clean, but they won't send the millions and billions it costs to lock you up and put you in rehab instead. Build it and they will come, and they will come by their thousands. Not all to use the room, they will hang around drug affected, many violent, ruining your community and businesses. Some will yell at you, hit at you, shit and vomit in the streets. Your kids will be terrified and suffer from anxiety, and us adults too. We all know drug use is a mental health issue and needs to be treated as such, and not an addiction to be fed and profited on by dealers and politicians trying to win votes, and fat cats making six-figure sums running the joint. We are told don't smoke, you'll die, don't eat fatty foods, you'll die, don't drink too much, you'll die, don't speed, you'll die. But what's the message to our kids? Don't take drugs, you will die. What we need is more rehab, education and mental health initiatives funded by government. To give up on our most vulnerable and say, here you go, take these drugs in this room we built for you, and then pat yourselves on the back saying you've done something amazing because you care about users, just makes me sick and plain stinks of lazy policy. I've seen no evidence of room changing lives for the better, but every day I see evidence of how it is ruining lives. Not just the community, not just the users, but community as well. One name, Tyrone Wattsfold. A 15-year-old boy. He died of a heroin overdose across the road from me, and they want to remove the age limit of 18 and let children in. They want to let pregnant women in. Surely we can help them in another way other than watching them shoot up. They would say they can lead these people to health services, but I haven't heard or seen any good news stories, except one bloke who got new teeth. If they were doing such a great job, why don't we hear these good news stories? I'll tell you why. There aren't any. I'm mad and I'm sad.
Thank you, Sharon. Sharon Nevin, another resident of North Richmond who has seen the dreadful situation there firsthand that they have to go through. And as I said before, we don't want that in Footscray.
NGHIệN, and also I also the mayor of Footscray as well, Mr. Michael Clark, and I saw there was actually Catherine Cummins as well, and also Councillor Cooklands, and I saw the Shadow Ministers, and Shadow Minister Georgie was there as well. Thank you for being here. I know that you travel a long distance to be here with us. I understand that, and I appreciate that immensely.
Hear all the voice of the locals tonight from Richmond. This young gentleman here, can you please come up here, please? Can you please come up here? You have seen what other people have not seen, and this is the sign that he's holding. Safe-injecting room destroy community. This is exactly what happened in Footscray, ladies and gentlemen. We don't want it in Footscray. No! We don't want it in Footscray. No! We don't want the safe-injecting room in Footscray. No! Ladies and gentlemen, before that, a similar story was happening in Richmond. When Phil is spreading the rumor that we're going to put the safe-injection room in Richmond, nobody pay attention. No one pay attention. Not long after that, what did we see? The safe-injection room was actually erected in Footscray. It completely destroyed the harmony in the community. Completely destroyed the innocence of the young people. It's completely destroyed the environment that the local people and the community and the business people enjoy. It completely destroyed Richmond Street, and you can see all of that. Do you want that to happen in Footscray here? No! We cannot allow that to happen. We don't want a safe-injection room in Footscray. No! Safe-injection room in Footscray. Get out! Get out! The society, so everyone can enjoy with us. Everyone can live together. We have been a very peaceful community, and we respect that. We come to this nation with warm welcome arms, and we really appreciate that. We want to build something so everyone can join together. It's breaking my heart when I see young kids like this. Every day when they go to school, they have to witness things that we do not want to witness, ladies and gentlemen. It's actually tear your heart apart. You have to have a lot of tears when you see that. Even now, I love to go out and eat Vietnamese food. I love to go to Richmond and enjoy myself in Richmond. But I can't anymore. It's become untenable. It's become unsafe for all of us. I wish that politicians, I wish that government are there to witness. Ladies and gentlemen, please send a very strong message to the state government, to the state MP, and make sure it will never get to Footscray. It will never get to Richmond or Dandenong. Richmond is already there. But we hope that one day the government will wake up and have a look at the business. How immensely the business people have suffered in Richmond. They have suffered immensely, ladies and gentlemen. So do not let Footscray get to the stage where Richmond got to, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Mr. King. Thank you so very much, John. Your passion is appreciated, and the message, if you can give us a first-hand summary of what's happened to a lot of businesses in Victoria Street in particular in Richmond. It's a tragedy that so many businesses have hit the wall because of what's happened with the injection room. I now ask you to welcome Mika Ho from Victoria Street Business Association.
Thank you everyone who come here today to say no to injection room in Footscray. Don't be like a victim, like we live like a ghetto now. Don't let Footscray and say no to injection room. Because this is what happened to Richmond. There were 100 shops in Richmond, now there's only 30. And when you walk down, it's unsafe, and the residents like Christine and I are feeling destroyed by those highly drug users who destroy our community that my family have been heritage there for many years. And I wanted to here to support Footscray Asian Business Association, our Vietnamese community, to say no to injection room Footscray. Thank you.
We've got to keep on our toes because we know what happens. We know what they've done like before. We know what they did in Richmond. when they said, oh no, we won't be having an injection room, we won't be having an injection room, and then 6 months later they got up and said, well yes we will, it's in Richmond, and suck it and see. That is basically what they said, and it doesn't, we didn't matter, the people didn't matter, and we don't want that to happen here in Footscray. So please fill out the form. We lose, we will have this injecting room in our community. This injecting room will destroy this community, and we've got to fight it. We've got to fight it. We must fight this together. So please fill in your details on the form, because it is just so very, very important. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming along tonight. As I say, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. We have now got to turn up the pressure on the government and make sure that they know that Footscray says no. No. And send that message to the Premier, the Acting Premier, the Health Minister, anybody and everybody, even the local member if you can find her. Good luck to you on that one. But send the message clear, loud and clear to the government that we say no. We say no to an injection room in Footscray. We do not want our community destroyed. We do not want our businesses destroyed. We do not want our kids destroyed. We want to protect Footscray for future generations, for our businesses and for our kids. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much all for coming, and let's keep fighting. Let's tell the government a message. Let's...
Bên Lý Tự Sài Gòn đã ủng hộ bánh mì ổ, và we would like to say thank you to Mr. Lock Lam and the Footscray Shopping, Little Saigon Shopping Center for support the bread roll. If anyone hungry and thirsty, go to the back of the speaker. Thank you, and drive safe tonight and take care all. And please support to make sure that injection room is not welcome in Footscray and Victoria.
Cũng đồng thời xin cảm ơn đến các anh em trong Bách Hà Nội chuyên gia của Richmond, anh VK rồi anh Thành và một em chủ tịch mới tên gì qua rồi cũng đã tới ủng hộ cho cái hôm nay. Một lần xin cảm ơn tất cả các anh chị.
One of these, and I come back, okay?